what it's like to have your vehicle break down in the bush and be surrounded by a bloodthirsty circle of the most ferocious carnivores on the planet. One zoo makes it happen.
You can get a real feel of the sound of lions when they roar, the smell of lions as they move past.
Also, giant flesh-eating birds take over the catacombs of ancient France in one of the most unusual and shocking zoo exhibits ever. Then, they're the most aggressive of all bears. So how did one zoo use high-tech wizardry to keep them stimulated so they wouldn't rip apart the exhibit?
The screen that we're looking at here is the honey dispensing screen. You can alter this to dispense different times, different places, different types of food, keeping it always new for the animals.
We found the best zoo habitats on the planet and brought them together in one place in a world we call the ultimate zoo. The majestic lion is the supreme symbol of predatory dominance among wild animals. These fierce carnivores rule over miles of territory in the African savanna, creating an ever-present threat for all living things. So how does a zoo accurately recreate this perilous environment, where animals and humans live in constant fear of going face-to-face with the wild's most notorious predator? The Werribee Open Range Zoo in Victoria, Australia, has taken on this very challenge with the creation of the most authentic lion exhibit ever, a place called Lions on the Edge. Stepping into the 5-acre Lions on the Edge is like hiking through rural Botswana, where farming villages literally survive on the edge of lion country. Here, 5 lions, 2 males and 3 females, can rotate through 2 large naturalistic enclosures, reminiscent of the Botswana bush. And to make things more authentic, each habitat is strategically perched overlooking the zoo's 80-acre savanna, where the lions can watch some of their favorite prey graze off the land, just as they would do in the wild. The exhibit is the newest addition to one of the world's most naturalistic zoos, a place that boasts habitats so big that it's actually included in their name, Werribee's Open Range Zoo.
An open range zoo is where we have a large acreage where we can allow the animals to roam in a fairly natural habitat. They can actually engage with each other, so we can have mixed species.
Overseeing the project to bring lions to Werribee was zoo director Ross Jones. His experience with lions fueled his passion to create the most realistic and stimulating environment for the lions as possible.
We see this as where zoos are heading, because people don't want to see animals caged up. They want to see them so that they're in a more natural habitat, getting more natural stimuli.
At Werribee, visitors don't walk from exhibit to exhibit. Rather, they take a safari bus. From here, they can immerse themselves in the grandeur of the African savanna and encounter many of its species in their natural element. Still, on this savanna, there was one critical element missing: a predator. Most notably, the most iconic savanna species of all, the African lion. Only adding such a ferocious predator to this open range wouldn't be easy. Unlike the other animals, lions were far too dangerous to be part of the drive-through tour. So instead, they situated the lion environment on a bluff overlooking the plain below. And as for the visitors, a walk-through experience was designed that could truly capture the essence and danger of living on the edge of lion country. In 2003, construction began on the 5-acre exhibit. The first challenge was figuring out a way to keep the male and female lions separated, while still providing the sensory stimulation of a real pride If both males and females were put in together, the two males would be constantly fighting for dominance, a situation that could easily turn deadly. As a solution, the zoo divided the hilltop habitat into two enclosures with a carefully concealed 23-foot wide moat and fence that not only would keep the lions separated, but also prevent the big cats from jumping into the savanna habitat below, where it was certain they'd quickly prey on the other animals. Then, to blur the boundaries, the hillside was carefully landscaped with tall native grasses and deadfall trees to create authentic views for both lions and visitors alike.
The design has been made so that the animals will always be visually obvious to the visitors. It's also been set up so that it blends into the background, so that it links into the tree line behind and onto the Werribee Plains right across the other side. So as you come to it, it seems to be a continuing vista of grasslands and savanna going off for miles.
The zoo's next challenge was also their riskiest. Bringing visitors literally nose to nose with a flesh-eating predator. The problem, of course, was figuring out a way to do it safely. Not only did they need a barrier that was lion-proof, but also transparent. Their solution was to bond 3 panes of 3/4-inch thick, bulletproof glass. Not only was this impervious to lions, but also to most any other natural or man-made impact, which could release the carnivore into the zoo. With the glass in place, designers then had to ensure the lions, given their many distractions, would actually be interested in the visitors. For this, they unveiled a truly unique feature that, needless to say, also added to the exhibit's theme. Bisected at the windshield, this Ranger's Jeep recreates all the thrill and horror of being broken down in lion country. And to ensure the lions paid a visit, designers also installed a heater under the hood to give the lions a warm place to rest. As the habitat was nearing completion, only one hurdle remained. They would have to transfer the 2 male lions and 3 female lions from their familiar surroundings at the Melbourne Zoo, north to Werribee. Traveling in crates, the lions arrived at the zoo and were ushered towards the exhibit holding areas. For the keepers, one false move and a finger could become a snack. One by one, the ship doors were opened, and each lion moved into their separate dens in the large facility. Here, while keepers were anxious to open the doors to the habitats, the big cats would have to remain inside for a quarantine period to make sure each of the zoo-born lions was healthy. Little did they know, but they were about to experience the wild like never before. Coming up, the lions released into their new environment sends a shockwave through the savannah. Will the barriers be enough to keep these lions from going on the hunt for prey? Find out next on Ultimate Zoo.